The name that comes to mind every time the words art auction are mentioned. He is the leading art auctioneer in the country, and in the 80s he was the director of SABC in London. That's before he started Stephen Welts and Company, which is one of the leading art auctioneering companies in South Africa. Right now he's the managing director of Strauss & Co, and today he is the cultural icon my colleague Liberty Nani and I are speaking to.
Stephen Welts, good morning, welcome to Morning Live.
That's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so you...
Flanked by two such lovely young girls.
So you're the son of an artist, and
right.
Your mother owned an art gallery. What was it like growing up in the Welts household? I mean, so much art.
You rebel against it. No, it was in a small town, Worcester. So it's a small community. My father was different. Everybody else's father went to work at 8 in the morning. My father stayed at home, and I didn't quite understand when you're young, you know. But later it dawned on me he actually does work at home. It was actually a very exciting world because it was people coming and going and meeting people, interesting people coming, and fortunately. We were at a stage where children worked, so we helped in my mother's shop in the gallery. So one had hands-on experience from an early age, which I think is invaluable actually. And you're exposed to art. I think it's very important that one realize what it takes to paint a picture. We can all paint a picture, but it's a pretty picture, not a major artwork. And
Thank you for choosing to stay with us now. The annual Staging Bike Boat and Outdoor Show is an event made up.
We've got a number of very exciting things coming out this year. Almost all the manufacturers have got.
Somehow can visualize what the artist went through in creating that work. It often looks like 5 minutes, but it's actually a lifetime's experience put onto that canvas.
So, sir, what attracted you to the world of selling art, especially at such high prices?
Absolutely by coincidence.
Linda Gould, who is the spokesperson of the Education Africa International Marimba and Steel.
I came up to Johannesburg, and in order to do that, I needed to get a certificate to go underground in the mine, and my health at that stage was such that I couldn't qualify for the certificate, and my parents didn't have the money then to send me to university. It was out of their own pocket.
Soitya is a grade 9 student passionate about agricultural development.
Department of Finance, which is not a bad place to start. I then started studying through UNISA, but then Sotheby's opened up their offices in South Africa, and they were looking for somebody, a South African, to come into the Johannesburg office.
In South Africa.
And
researchers.
Fortunately, I was then friendly with Reinhold Kassera, Nadine Gordimer's husband, and Nadine Gordimer obviously too. And Reinhold actually started the first Sotheby's office, and knowing that I knew all the artists, having come from an artist's home, and the experience I had, coaxed me into leaving the money world, so to say, to come into a moneyed world. There's like difference in that sense. And I joined in Sotheby's. So it was a complete change in direction, although my academic training is away from it. As I said, did help. I think any academic training, no matter what you do later in life, is of value to you. And fortunately, I've never looked back. It's been a wonderful experience, and I've enjoyed every moment. I think I'm perhaps at 1 or 2% in life who actually enjoys their job.
So it was under your hammer that names like Irma Stan, Stanley Pinker, and Cecil Scott-Ness went from respected artists to art world sensations that can actually secure millions. When did you ever step back and look at what you've done and achieved and thought, maybe I'm on the right track? Speak to us about that moment. Please don't be modest.
I didn't pay the money. It's the people who paid that money that really had the guts to go it. Now I must say, when I started, an Irma Stern was 5,000 rand or even 3,000 rand, bought you a very nice Irma Stern. And today, a good Irma Stern starts at, well, 5 million, 8 million. It's not unusual, and 32 million is the top price. And so that's common. I think the change in South Africa brought about an amazing confidence in the future of South Africa. There was always, in the old dispensation, there was always uncertainty.
With all due respect, I'm not going to allow you to deviate from my question, and I'm going to rephrase it. When were you ever able to step back and give yourself a pat on the back for all the achievements and what you've contributed to your industry?
I must be honest. Probably when I sold some 8 years ago, sold a collection belonging to the Khans in Cape Town, which I believe sort of set a whole new pattern again. And they were a wonderful couple that collected with passion. It was only some 20, 30 pictures. And it just showed what people can do on a limited income. It is possible if we've got the eye and the patience and the perseverance. Like with most things, you can achieve things. And it was just as though everything clicked. And the prices, for the first time, we really saw super prices, 5 million, 6 million. And everybody sat, and it was a situation you could say, well, I can also do that. If they could do it, why can't? And I think it gave an amazing confidence. But, you can only, in the auction trade, you're only as good as the goods you're selling. And if you manage, and I think few people realize that auctioning is not just getting up there on a wooden box and saying, whoa, 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 it's sold. It's a lot of preparation. You've got the people with the good things must have the confidence to entrust you with a sale. You're not going to ask just anybody to sell your house or your car or whatever. You want somebody you know or trust or whatever the situation. So that's the first side of it. And then to have the confidence of the buyers, that they feel if you think it's great, then it must be great, or hopefully. But it depends on your product, and to believe in your product. If you don't believe in your product, you're never going to be successful. And I believe in art. Art is an essential in life for everybody.
Thank you, sir. That's Stefan Welts, who is the Managing Director of Strauss & Co. and by far the leading art auctioneer in the country.